Chrono Trigger is pretty much my favorite game. I've replayed it dozens of times, however, I've never touched New Game Plus. Every time I've replayed this game, I've just done it regular style, and this has led me to miss out on this really innovative feature, including its multiple endings. I'm sure if you're watching this, you're familiar with Chrono Trigger, but if you're not, Chrono Trigger was one of the first games to feature New Game Plus, where your character's progress, weapons, and items are carried over from your already completed file into a new game. Chrono Trigger includes multiple endings because you can fight the final boss pretty much at any point. And with a New Game Plus file, you're actually strong enough to beat the game early, and these endings accommodate that. However, if you play the game regular style like I do, you're only going to see one of these endings. However, this single ending can vary in many ways depending on your decisions leading into the final battle. The game really seems to account for everything, and to this day, this feature has not been topped by many other games. So, you get it, sounds fun, but grinding out all the endings always seemed really repetitive to me, and honestly, plowing through the game super overpowered never really appealed to me either. However, being incentivized by Steam achievements, I've finally gone ahead and played New Game Plus to get every single ending. My experience doing this was actually pretty fun, and the whole process was definitely quicker than I thought. But going through this, I noticed that not every ending was created equally, and as I fought Lavos for maybe the 7th time, I thought about how I would rank these endings. So here we are, and after that long drawn-out intro, I've come to the premise of this video. Of course, this is my opinion, and I always welcome discussion. So, let's go. Here are the top 13 Chrono Trigger endings ranked, starting with... So, this is the ending you would see first if you chose to defeat Lavos as soon as you got to the end of time. This ending ranks low because as an ending, it doesn't really show off anything unique, or is particularly funny compared to the other joke endings. It's kinda cute, and the music choice is nice. I love hearing Corridors of Time, but this is just... It just has the least going on for it as an ending, and it's just some monsters messing around. Now for the next ending. This ending, The Unknown Past, heavily features the people of the prehistory period fighting off the lizards. Again, this ending loses points just because it doesn't really show off anything unique that we wouldn't see playing through the game normally. I guess if you actually decided to beat the game at this point, like a madman, it would show off the prehistory period that you would have not really needed to go to yet, but that's not going to happen, given that if you were to beat this game this early, like legitly, it would mean utilizing prehistory for grinding. But in reality, it just offers nothing new. I guess it shows off how the prehistory period went without interference by Chrono and his friends, but it just shows off what we could already infer, that the humans won against the lizard people. Next. People of the Times is another ending that loses points because it features nothing you would not see on a normal playthrough, but it does make a cute pseudo roll call of all the NPCs you would have seen to that point. In that way, it's cute, and I arbitrarily rank it as the highest of these more boring endings. Alright. So now we move to the C ranks, and all these endings from now on will feature new Super Mario Brothers new stuff that you would not see on a regular playthrough. Reunion is an ending that someone probably has organically seen on a regular playthrough, but in general, this ending feels wrong. The ending starts with a fake out with Marl returning to the end of time to only see the rest of the party leave her behind as the time gates close. It feels wrong as the characters coldly return to their own time, leaving Marl and Luca on their own. But just as you think all hope for Chrono is lost, Marl and her friends reunite to revive Chrono on Death Mountain. Actually, I lied. Nothing here is particularly new, but the first part going back to the end of time is neat, and Marl taking the balloons from the Millennial Fair to Death Mountain, well, in this version, is funny and cute. This ending is similar to the ending Beyond Time, with it having different variations depending on whether you destroy the epoch or have Magus on your party or not. That gives it some points, but again, this ending just feels wrong and out of character, and I just sort of don't like it that much. And Reviving Chrono immediately is a must every playthrough, so I've never organically seen this one. Next. This ending is the one that they added in the DS version, and it is mostly a means to try and better connect the games to its sequel, Chrono Cross. This ending is whatever. I guess it does connect the games to Chrono Cross, but again, it also just kind of confuses me. Just like Chrono Cross, honk honk. No, I love Chrono Cross. Regardless, the fight is neat. It does make a cool super boss to fight. Doing the other quest added in the DS version of the game, it makes a good super boss for all that. These time gates they added are fine. Linear gauntlets that have their own boss battles too. But the Dragon Village just plain sucks. It's barely worth doing. I did it anyway, but it's not worth doing. Oh yeah, but this ending, it's just fine. Making it to the top of the C tier, just fine. We now move on to the B tier. These endings are pretty cool. What the Prophet Seeks is an ending utterly carried by how cool Magus is. It shows him flying through the Ocean Palace to fight Magus. You could set this badass shit to Sonic music, how cool it is. However, this ending is here to show that even without any interference from Chrono and his friends, that nothing changes and Zeal will still get destroyed. Very cool. Magus is cool, and you get to see some more of him, and that's enough to make it onto the B tier. The Legendary Hero is the first ending that I would call a joke ending on this list, and it shows an alternate take of the events of the Siege of Magus's Keep, with Tata taking on the role of the hero. And what do we have here? Is Tata fighting Chrono? What's going on? This ending is very silly and features some new things for the player to see while making the rounds in New Game Plus. I also love this metallic madness-ass version of Lean Square you see with Robo remaking the intro for Chrono Trigger at the fair. Really silly. A very quality ending, which places it smack dab in the middle of the list. Woot woot. Cool. Now, onto Dino Times. This ending is very memorable as it features an alternate timeline where the reptiles won over the humans, and it shows an alternate opening to Chrono Trigger, just like the last ending. And in this one, Chrono and everyone else is a lizard. I absolutely love the gag where the reptile-themed green runner at the fair is replaced by a normal human. Very cute. This ending is a great reward for what is probably going to be like your 7th time going to fight Lavos. It's definitely one of the neatest to see, but it isn't really as cool or features as much new stuff. Like what is coming up next in the A tier. Memory Lane is one of the strangest endings as it features Marl and Luca going over the dudes they encountered so far in the game, and even features them speculating on the sexuality of some of them. And what is that? What is this comment? Is this comment about the character's gender transphobic? And wait, Marl and Luca homophobic? Oh no. Marl and Luca are lucky this ending is one of the hardest to get, having the most specific time to trigger in the whole game. That being between seeing Shala using her pendant to open the door to the throne room in Zeal, and then you yourself powering up your own pendant to do the same. Yeah, I almost missed this ending too while doing my rounds. Marl and Luca even comment on the absurdity of choosing to end the game now, but they also seem to be aware that this is some sort of New Game Plus scenario, with Luca saying to get the show on the road and get this ending just over with. This ending is absurd, the game knows it is, and it even features Chrono talking. Cursed. Well, it's very silly, and this ending's specificity, whatever I said, is its own sort of novelty, ranking this ending overall pretty high. The next ending, the successor of Guardia, is the first ending one would run into if they are looking to get all the endings in New Game Plus. This ending is actually exclusive to New Game Plus, as the only way to get this ending is to fight Lavos using the teleporter right after saving Marl from the Middle Ages. And this starts the ending hunt off with a bang. It features a unique film projector effect, it is very funny, and it features a fake out of Chrono and Marl arriving back to the Millennia Fair after beating Lavos. That's like Every feature, new stuff, funny stuff, and cool stuff, all of it. This ending is centered around the joke that now Marl is a descendant of Frog, with everyone commenting on how Marl usually has a frog-like appearance, with even Marl and her dad jumping around like frogs. I always kind of wondered if Frog had an affair with the Queen in the Middle Ages, and this ending kind of implies it at points. And oh, Marl and Frog are both water types. Oh, does that mean that they're related? There's a lot of things that might imply it, theories, nothing really directly said. But this shows a timeline where that is fact. Does this imply that Marl normally isn't related to Frog? I'm not sure if any of this actually matters or if there's actually any lore to imply, but this ending is more of a good way of showing off the time travel cause and effect mechanics that Chrono Trigger is known for, and showing that New Game Plus will stick to these mechanics, and even if it's more silly, it will adhere to the cause and effect nature of the game. One of the strongest endings overall, and a great introduction to the feature. A+. The Oath is the coolest ending on the list, no question. Frog versus Magus. It also features this scene from this piece of Chrono Trigger key art of everyone hanging out at Lucca's house and Frog tripping. Very cool. It just shows that no matter what, Frog would be willing to fight Magus even by himself. It shows him storming the castle, defeating all of Magus's generals, and then when he fights Magus, the scene fades out and the credits roll, but we can still hear the fight. We can hear Magus's spells go off and the sword swipes to the mass immune. Then, at the end, we see someone standing on the keep, and what's this? It's kinda hard to tell who won. It definitely was Frog, but we also can't be certain. It's cinematic, and it's the best ending besides the last two on the list. The S tier, these are the best endings in Chrono Trigger, objectively true forever and ever throughout time and space, whatever, yeah. This is the regular ending for Chrono Trigger, and it just goes to show how great the regular ending is, and how rewarding the ending is by having it at the top of the list. This ending has it all. You're able to walk around, it shows unique scenes, it has variations, and it has one of the best songs of the SNES era. A legendary ending for a timeless game, but we all know that. It's no wonder I ranked this at the top, but what ending could be ranked higher than this ending? Than the standard ending? I don't know. Let's see. The Dream Project is the super secret fourth wall breaking ending of Chrono Trigger, where you get to walk around the end of time? Question mark? Well, it's populated by the staff of the crew that made Chrono Trigger, and you can actually walk around and talk to each individual person that worked on the game. This is amazing, and features a lot to explore, with each portal of the end of time leading to a room with even more people to talk to. Every rare sprite is here. The game even tries to fake you out by pretending to power off the game. That's epic. Myself and my brother actually came across this ending organically growing up, as we loved to play Chrono Trigger over and over again, and one day my brother, after doing several New Game Plus runs in a row, was finally strong enough to beat Lavos at the Undersea Palace when you're supposed to lose, and we experienced genuine panic and fear, like above no else that we've ever experienced, not knowing if we were going to actually lose the most unique baller ending we had ever seen in a video game. But regardless of that, this ending is really silly and unique, and it kind of reminds me of the Game Freak buildings in the Pokemon franchise, where you can talk to the developers of that game, and they speak directly to you, the player. Though, once you explore all the portals, you can actually go through the gate at the end of time to meet the actual, dream team of Chrono Trigger. Akira Toriyama, the artist for the game, Nobuo Uematsu, who along with Yasunori Mitsuda composed the game, Yuji Horii, I hope I say these next ones right, who is known for creating Dragon Quest, was the game's supervisor. Kazuko Akoi, the game's producer, and formed the team to develop Chrono Trigger, is there. And finally, Hironobu Sukugachi. I tried practicing these earlier, but I'm just not going to be able to get it. I'll put it up. Known for creating Final Fantasy, acted as the game's lead designer, each with their own unique sprites. This ending feels legendary, and discovering it after years of owning and playing Chrono Trigger made me realize that there was still so much to discover about the game, and deepened my love for it even more. So that's it. This is the ending of the rank. I'll put it right here. Say it's there, but I'm glad I did this. The New Game Plus rounds, I'm glad I did these New Game Plus rounds and saw all the endings Chrono Trigger had to offer. And even though I ranked them and some of them are not as good as others, the concept is really charming and makes sense for the themes and mechanics of the game, showing how defeating Lavos at different times can change history, or how it can be really anticlimactic and you only get to see a funny frog. Whatever. I recommend it, as second run through is shorter than the regular style playthrough. And I think the act of learning how to dismantle the Lavos boss fights as fast as you can is kind of fun. Anyway, what do you think? How would you rank the endings? I also made a tier list template myself for this video. I'll link it below. But it's going to probably be to the side because of YouTube's stupid update, but whatever. It'll be linked somewhere around here. I'd like to hear how you would rank the Chrono Trigger endings. And I just wonder what y'all will think about this video and where you just rank them and stuff in general. I'm kind of going off script here. There's probably going to be a little mess ups because I was trying to do multiple takes, but now it's one take. But I actually like this take. It's actually fun. Hope you like this list, and I hope to see y'all again. Thanks, and bye.